The four-legged robot Spot is the main newsmaker of recent months in the world of robotics. We will show you the unboxing of the bot, how it works, and what it can and cannot do, however you dream. In this issue, all the insides about the most advanced robots in the world. Subscribe to the channel, and you will know all about the latest robots and tech. Here we go. Boston Dynamics was founded in 1992 by Mark Rybert, who dreamed of creating robots as smart and agile as humans and animals. During its history, the company has developed 8 robots. You can learn more about them in the video above. But Spot was the company's first commercial product. In June, Boston Dynamics launched an online store on its website which sells both the robot and equipment and services for it. However, so far, only American companies can buy the Spot robot. The basic version of the Spot Explorer kit cost as much as a luxury Tesla Model S, $74,500. Delivery cost is included in the price, and its term is from 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. In addition to the robot, the kit includes 2 batteries, charging, remote control, case, and software. Additional computing units, sensors, including LiDAR, and extended technical support can also be purchased separately. For example, the optional Spot Cam package provides the robot with 360 degrees of vision for advanced remote control and monitoring capability. The package includes a circular camera with a 360-degree angle of view of 170 degrees PTZ camera with 30 times magnification, 2 speakers, and a microphone. Instead of PTZ camera, you can also put on a Velodyne VLP-16 LiDAR with sensitivity ranges up to 100 meters. The Spot Core is an additional computer for complex applications and real-time processing of data from the robot's sensors, as the internal computers are used only for robot movement and navigation. Spot GPX, or Basic Expansion Module, allows you to connect to third-party modules and sensors, providing additional power inputs and an Ethernet port. But the most interesting thing is the way the company is now actively creating software based on cloud artificial intelligence to support the Spot robots. A lever with 5 degrees of freedom installed on the back of the robot. Applications for the robot will open up many new applications for the robot. The hands and software for the robot should be available at the end of this year. Spot is delivered in a case, and it takes almost all of the space inside. To start the robot, you must lift it by its legs and lay it on the floor on its back to insert a battery in a capacity of 605 watt-hours and snap it in. There is a power button on the case, and pressing it will activate the robot. Another push of the button on the remote control gives the robot the command to flip over, stand on its feet, and perform several standard movements of the greeting. The tablet to control the robot is like a game joystick and runs on Android. Spot has a built-in mapping system, a localization system, and a standalone motion system known as GraphNav. Spot can be controlled in 3 ways: directly by moving the joystick, by setting up destinations on a tablet within the robot's field of vision, or by running it offline. The latter requires the creation of a map of a building or a movement area. The map is created manually, but then the robot within it can act entirely independently. The robot can also navigate by QR codes. The basic settings assume the robot's average altitude, speed, and pitch, but you can change them. For example, if the robot can climb a hill in the standard mode, the stairs need a stair mode, and to overcome a pile of rocks, you will need to run the trawling mode. The maximum preservation of balance and legs work at the limit of flexibility. If you run the robot on a pile of rocks or overgrown lawn in normal mode, the robot may get stuck or fall, but it will not break. By the way, contrary to popular belief, this robot can descend from the stairs and the front. Scratches on the Spot body can be painful at first, like on an expensive smartphone, but then you have to get used to it. The overall impression of all those who have tried to control the robot is that it is difficult to perceive it as an inanimate and limited object, and at the same time, the surprise of how smart, strong, and capable the robot is. Thus, people who met Spot on the street often tried to call him or come up to him and hug him. But the robot reacts to people only as obstacles, and it cannot predict the movement of the object, which makes it dangerous to others. On the other hand, Spot can easily overcome reinforcement mesh without special preparation, programming, or anything else. He just sees it and goes where he needs to go. By the way, for this task, he chooses one of his many gates. The robot can move forward, backwards, and sideways, pick up legs high, or crawl, but there are height limitations. The robot will get stuck in a tunnel too low. But the desire to hug the robot can be fraught. There are many gaps on the robot body that can take away a loving person's tones. Therefore, Spot is still not designed to work with people, although it can clean up their homes, recognizing things and deciding what to do with this or that object. In case of a dangerous approach to the human robot, on the remote control and the robot itself, there is a special red button. Press once and the robot will free. Press twice and it will gently fall to the ground. The robot comes with an SDK for software development. It can be used to control the robot's speed, set up additional modules, and access the robot's data. Anyone can download the Spot SDK from the repository on GitHub. The SDK works with programs written on Python. The Spot API allows applications to control the robot, read sensor information, and create and integrate external modules. The Spot API works on a client-server model, where client applications interact with services running on a Spot over a network connection. Client applications can run on tablets, laptops, cloud applications, or external modules connected to Spot. Spot implements an API in the form of various network services, such as image service or robot command service. Higher levels of the service stack, such as offline services, are built on top of the service at lower levels of the stack. For orientation, Spot uses 5 pairs of stereo cameras with a range of 4 meters, giving a full 360-degree view. The cameras help the robot create a 3-dimensional map around itself, navigating and avoiding obstacles. The black and white video from the cameras is transmitted to the operator's tablet so that it can see where the robot is and can set its direction by simply pressing a finger on the screen with the picture. There was also information on the internet that 2 computers with Intel Core i7 processors are used to control the robot. Leg Spot are powered by 12 special DC motors, 3 in each shoulder. 2 are responsible for the movement of the leg in the grid XY/X game, and 1 is responsible for the knee. All motors are super powerful, so if you need to grab a robot immediately, there are special straps behind the shoulder. The robot can be controlled from another country or continent. According to a journalist from The Verge, who ran the Spot in Boston from his home in London, the robot reacts with only a second of delay, but the process of control is very clear. The latest update of the robot allows the owner to give Spot complex tasks, such as moving to a given point, collecting the necessary data on the way, and manipulating the installed on-its-own equipment or cargo. Engineers are also constantly working to ensure that the robot understands the type of surface on which it's positioned and adjusts its actions. An example of this is a slippery floor. The developers teach the robot to understand that it slips and to adjust its actions instantly. And all this without a single sensor on the lower part of the robot's feet. Among the first users of Spot are not only construction and gas companies. Recently, the robot was spotlighted in the testing of limits of strength of the fuel tank of a prototype spacecraft Starship SN7 company SpaceX. In the video, the robot examines the Boca Chica test. It is known that the robot received the name Zeus and its own booth in the company. Spot also won the Sub-T Urban Circuit Contest organized by DARPA earlier this year in the CoStar team led by NASA JPL. But this almighty dog is not without flaws. For example, in the test with Massachusetts police, the robot was brought to the operation to try and defuse a bomb near the mall, but after turning on the robot, it did not want to do anything and just sat down, not even helped by rebooting. After a storm of correspondence, the conclusion of the engineers at Boston Dynamics was that the robot sat down for no apparent reason, frightened by the high grass instead of going into the intended target. Since the robot is new, it's clear that there will be some problems with it, which the company will fix. But we still have a long way to go to the Black Mirror scenario. Write down in the comments, do you think Spot is worth this much money? And will it really work at enterprises, or will it remain just a cool gadget and experiment? Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and watch a full overview of Boston Dynamics robots in our playlist of the same name.